You need to retweet the poll as well. I don't know how long you've got it set up for, whether or not it's on for another week or whatever.
Yeah, I gotta see if anyone else wants to join in on that, but if not,
Hence,
then
why you should
a
retweet it.
winner could be decided now.
Hence, why you should retweet it.
Yeah. If
Poll
not, then
closing soon. Get
yeah.
your votes in now.
Oh, Isaac's crying in chat.
It
When is
is
Isaac
not
not crying?
coming
It's
up
true.
on. Oh, there we go. No, it just popped up.
Yeah, Twitch looks like it. It took a minute here. Oh man.
Okay.
Hello, internet. It's us. I guess.
Tell a friend. Sorry, I just heard you say this. I just started thinking of the Eminem song.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Uh,
Are you guys ready to start?
yeah, it's gonna be that kind of show.
It sure is.
Well,
Get ready,
we've
everyone.
already done 40 fucking minutes of pre-show.
Yeah. Yeah. Patreon.com/E1M1.
Fucking beat me to it, you cunt.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast, episode 700. Who thought
boy.
we'd be here? Not this guy.
Only
I'm your host,
300
Boss.
to go.
Yeah, that's right. Only 300 left. We're in the home stretch here. I'm your host, Boss, and joining me as always is Moonpier.
That's the English guy. That's me.
Yep. And the Nymph.
That's the other American guy.
There you go. Patreon.com/E1M1, the ones or numbers. We just recorded like almost 45 minutes of Outcast this week. We had a ton of stuff to talk about.
A lot of recapping.
Yeah, if you want to go get that, that's the uncensored outtakes where we record before the show, the stuff between the breaks on the live stream, and then the titles at the end, because I think those are always funny. So that's also early access to We Roguelike It. That's 2 weeks there. 2 or 3 month early access to Critical Misses, which go vote on that poll on the Patreon page in probably a couple more days here.
You don't have to be a patron.
That's right. Most importantly, you don't have to be a patron. It'd be nice if you would sign up there, $5 a month while you're there. But you can choose season 7 of Critical Misses. It's going to be between either the first 4 Alien movies or the 4 Mad Max movies. So it has been a close race the entire time. So your vote counts.
Yeah. So we talk about me and Boston both did the same thing last week, where after the show, we posted the poll after the show finished recording. It was late on Sunday night, and we both looked at the poll. It's like, let's see how the poll's doing. Crap, it's a draw.
Yep, 50%, 50%. It's like, cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Great. So go vote there, patreon.com/E1M on the ones or numbers, and go sign up if you're not a patron. $5 a month gets you everything. If you are a patron, thank you very much. Very much appreciate it.
Also, thank you.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Also, tell a friend. Tell a friend who ideally has $5 to spare a month.
Yeah, and 5-star rating everywhere you can, etc., etc.
Smash that like button.
That's right. Like, comment, subscribe. That's right. Angel Eye in chat says, big 700, anything special this week? Nope. Just a regular episode.
Running into a bunch of technical difficulties.
That's right.
Yes.
Welcome to recording audio in 2021. It still doesn't work. Hooray.
Yes.
God, the story of my life. All right, let's get into what you've been playing, Mr. Moon.
Okay, a relatively short section for me this week, if I'm completely honest, because
Yeah.
I was too busy, distracted by the limited time I had, was spent on Formula One, because it's Formula One. That's patreon.com/E1M1. Listen to the pre-show, folks.
That's right.
You too can become a fan of Formula One.
Right.
I was going to say, we're 1 week away from the pre-show just being all Formula One all the time.
That's right.
Yes.
DC Universe takes a back seat.
Right.
It's gonna be Formula One in the Arrowverse now. If only we could cross them over, it would be fantastic.
Yeah, we'll find a way. We'll keep working at it.
The Flash versus Lewis Hamilton. There we go.
There we go. Yep, I like it.
Spoiler: the Flash wins.
Yeah.
Anyway, So I
It's a confession time. With a heavy heart, I must announce I'm playing Kingdom Hearts
forgive me,
3.
listeners, for I have sinned. I've been playing Destiny. We'll get to that.
Yeah, yes.
I decided I needed a better method of figuring out what I want to play, what I want to focus on, and what I want to kind of get done so I can just get rid of it in the nicest way possible.
But like, get it off your plate.
Yeah, because there's a new episode of Game Club coming out soon, like tomorrow, maybe.
Today. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. There's a brand new episode of Game Club recap out. It's for The Bard's Tale 2004. It features one of us in an actual forest exploring while we're recording the episode. So,
so that worked out for everyone then?
It did. Yeah. It worked out
awesome.
Way better than it should have. So, big props to Skype coming through, sounding really good in a forest.
Weirdly enough, PCs, technical difficulties.
Right.
Skype on a cell phone, fine.
Literally in the middle of a forest using a data connection. Sounds really good.
Effing amazing that worked out, because there's so many reasons why it should not anyway.
It turned out really nice.
Well, yeah, so for this upcoming Game Club, we are going to do Life is Strange 2. So if you want to be involved in the conversation, we have a Discord.
Yep.
Right-hand side of the page, so on and so forth.
Game Club channel on there.
Yep, so you can get involved too. And one of the reasons this came up was because I want to beat games.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a really good job this year of not buying games.
Right.
Now I just need to beat games so I can uninstall them and get them off my system kind of thing. So, my plan is as follows.
Mm.
I have a 4, 6, or 8 terabyte drive, external. I can't remember what it is. It's there. It has a size on it.
It's big.
Full.
Yeah.
It's big and it's full. That's the problem.
Okay.
So, I have obviously a 1 terabyte internal, which is more like 700 after the operating systems and everything else with the Xbox. However, I can cut down my gaming time by sometimes as much as, or my time spent, sometimes as much as 5 minutes, depending on the game I want to play, by just having it on the internal drive.
Sure, right. The power of the SSD.
Yes. So, my plan right now is to get myself enough space.
Oh no.
To get everything off my internal.
Okay.
Unless I am specifically playing it.
Mm-hmm. Or if it's something like Prey, where it's significantly better on the SSD.
That, also Auto HDR would probably work a lot better if I played more games off my internal and not my external.
True.
And generally speaking, just loading times in a better feeling game might help me out with these things. But also, it gives me a focus point. So then I can go into the My Games tab on my Xbox, organize by storage, select only the internal, and pick from 20 games, not 400.
That's a much more manageable list.
Because, spoiler alert, when you're scrolling through 400 games, you get to the letter C and you've already made your decision. Everything after C doesn't matter. It might as well not exist.
Right.
But the internal's only a terabyte, which means with the size of the games these days, I can have 15 on there.
I mean, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So I can see them all at once in the same place and figure out. So here is the 20 games I want to focus on, install them on the internal, and then just play off my internal.
Right.
There's a 60 gig game. I'm done with that one. Delete it, send it off into the ethosphere, and move a different game from the external into the internal to replace it.
I like it.
So it gives me more of a focus point. So then I can sit down and get Hitman done. So I can play Hitman 2. So I can get to Hitman 3.
And now you don't have to take a couple minutes to generate a level while you're doom scrolling. It just takes a couple seconds.
Exactly. It will stop me being on Twitter as much. It'll stop me making as many cups of tea. So I'll be less caffeine infused, which would be good and bad for me. So that's my plan.
I like it.
Small problem with my plan.
Oh no.
I only have 10 gigs of space free on both drives combined at the moment. It's very difficult to move games from one drive to the other when they're 70 gig.
Right.
I want you on the external for now until a patch comes out, and I want to move you onto the internal. But I can't do any of that or download any new games because it's constantly telling me that my drives are full.
Right.
Sounds like you need a third drive.
Yep.
Your intimary. Hey, this is just the provisionary hard drive of let's move it here.
The
so
staging
I here
area
to move it from here. Yeah.
Right.
I may or may not have a tab open on my phone with that external Xbox One X hard drive on it, like the one that you slot into the thing.
Oh no!
Swear to God, we're gonna see behind you just you daisy chaining hard drives together.
Yep.
It's occurred to me before. At one point I thought about putting a RAID rig together just to see if it would do great. Like get 8 terabytes or 4 8 terabytes, RAID them together and plug them in.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work probably, but who knows? But that's my plan. Problem is I need space to do so.
Right.
So I'm still playing Anthem is the long and short of that.
Okay.
Because Anthem's like 60 gig, dude.
It's pretty big, yeah.
And as much as I hate to say, but that game's actually pretty fun to play. For the record, to play. Not to listen to the people yammer on. Not about the story. Not about anything else. I think the combat is fine. I think the flying is cool as hell. Also, they permanently turned on the cooled status effect. So
hey, there we go.
Like
now it's good.
Everywhere for longer.
One good thing about Anthem now.
Yes. Anthem is fine. It's a fun, enjoyable experience. Not to mention, it's probably one of the most beautiful games that exists on either last gen or this gen. Like that game is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So what's your objective?
80% achievements.
What are you at now? I feel like 80% in that game is going to be really grindy.
I think I'm at 60 right now, and dude, getting to 20% in that game was grindy.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the juice is worth the squeeze on that one.
I remember a couple people talking about how there's like 3 or 4 achievements in there that are super grindy and take a long time.
Huh? One is the collect everything in the game achievement.
Yeah.
Oh, woof.
All intel, all that kind of stuff, all that jazz. Collect it all.
Oh man.
Every single bit of it. But yes, I'm also basically on this game I have 34 achievements. I'm assuming that's out. It's actually out of 46. So I'm almost there. I'm at 70%. I'm close.
Yeah. Or you could just uninstall it.
And so you ever think about just beating games because you like them and then just moving on?
Well, that's the thing is, even when I'm playing a game like this, like I actually do enjoy the combat in it. I genuinely do.
Oh yeah, I'm not crapping on the game because I love Anthem. It's just very bare bones and deserved a lot more than what it got. But
that's for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
It deserves an Anthem Next experience, if you will.
Right.
But we all know it's not going to get that now.
Right.
But the best thing for me is Anthem has become one of those wind down games for me.
Oh,
sure.
It's like,
I've had a really stupid day. I've got this quest here that I've got to complete the story on to make my way towards this achievement. And it's not all about the achievement. It's also a case of it's just a good game to jump in, shoot some things on the normal difficulty, and literally crush them under my feet like insects because that's what they are to me now.
Right.
I've got a headphone in. I'm listening to a podcast. I'm listening to us. I'm listening to the Bamfcast. Actually, I don't listen to us because I can't stand the sound of my own voice. If you're a podcaster, get used to that, by the way, because you have to get used to the sound of your own voice. Well, I listen to the friends of the show, all of the usual suspects. Shift F1 is back with a bang.
Yeah.
The Star Wars Minute still has 6 or more Star Wars movies for me to listen to during that thing. It's like, I can do a couple of episodes of the podcast, just sit here, point the circle on the screen at the red things, and pull the trigger button.
Left trigger, right trigger. Yeah. There's a lot to be said about having a game like that.
Yeah, and I'm sure at this point for you, when you play Destiny by yourself, it's very much the same.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you literally don't care about the person yammering in your ear or what the ghost says anymore.
I have heard it so many times. And a lot of it is like, I think the thing that people discount in a lot of these games is you're still working towards something. It's not like, oh, I'm going to replay this mission for the 15th time because. It's like, no, I'm working towards this quest or this bounty or this achievement or whatever you have going on. It's like, it's just, this is one step in achieving whatever that goal is. And I get to listen to some music.
Yeah, exactly. And it's especially like these days, like I don't really want. I want to play that pirate game that I bought on sale specifically for my partner, but the one that Nimp bought and says is good. So I want to play it. I don't want to get my head into a game that might be potentially broken at the moment and have undue frustration at the game because I'm not in the headspace to play it. It's the same people who did the Technomancer, I think.
Yeah, Greedfall.
Yes, that game.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
I want to get into that.
There's a lot of stuff that they throw at you at the beginning that you need the headspace to be able to read and comprehend and remember. And once you get past that, it's fine. But at first, it's like, oh my god, this is a lot of crap.
And there's definitely something to be said for like, I'm gonna come home and I don't need to learn anything new. Like, I probably don't need to figure out any puzzles. I'm just going to go do some cool stuff. I'm going to fly around in my Iron Man spacesuit, and I'm going to shoot a bunch of bandits or whatever, and I'm going to have a good time.
You don't want to learn a third language to decipher a code so that way you can unlock an achievement?
No, thanks.
No.
I played Fez.
Yes. Well, you know what I mean. Anthem is that perfect game for me right now.
Yeah.
And my second game this week, Boston, getting my hopes up. It's not what you think it is. Don't write that game down yet.
I'm waiting.
It's Valhalla.
Oh.
Because I'm now at the point, by the way, where I'm putting this on you. On you 100%.
Hey, every time a patch note comes out, I say, hey, maybe this will fix Moonpier's problems. And the answer is always no.
That's what I'm putting on you. I want you to keep doing that because the only way I read the patch notes is when you do that, and I'm like, I wonder, and then I scroll through and it doesn't mention it.
I just get so excited because I think like Moonpier literally needs 2.5 minutes to finish something in this game, and he will have the 1,000 points. And I think maybe patch 1.2.1000.3301, maybe that'll be the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it isn't,
and it would be great if it was. It wasn't.
No.
By the way.
Yet again.
And I didn't, as soon as I read the patch notes, I was like, it doesn't mention my specific bug again, so I'm guessing that my specific bug is still buggy. And
it's one of those things where the only recommendation is just restart your game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have 70 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the achievement, literally the one achievement I'm missing is the do everything in all of the territories achievement.
Yep. So you have 150 hours, right? There's a perfect podcast game. You've already been through it. You can just bang it. Hopefully this time it'll work. Maybe.
Hold down the skip button the entire time.
That's right.
Yeah, okay, because that's going to work well for...
And also...
I bet you'll beat this game in 15 hours.
Yeah. Also, still rolling the dice on whether or not you'd be able to get the achievement.
Yeah, exactly.
It might be... Another thing might be broken.
Exactly, based on how quickly these patches are coming out and also how many bug updates are in them all, it's like, I don't, maybe
it just sounds like you're holding yourself back from getting this achievement. It sounds like you don't want it bad enough.
It's really... Isn't Moon the victim here? Wait a minute.
That is a very white guy on the internet thing that you just said.
Hey, after the crap I did for trophy hunting this week because of Boston, I don't want to hear it from you.
Hey.
Oh, no.
I didn't...
Wait, has he got both of us in trouble this week?
Kind of.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah,
Probably. That sounds like me. That's fair. Episode 700. Everybody hates Boston.
Yeah. Who do we have to pay to get a sitcom based on that, please?
Oh, God. You don't want to see my life. It's boring.
Hey, get to $300 on the Patreon. And
yeah, exactly. I'll start streaming my life. Justin.tv. Here we go.
I want to get our patron to, like, $1,500 a month, because then Boston might actually be able to pay me with a new PC, which would be great, because then I could, stream more and do more of that.
I would 100% buy you a new computer. It would be a business expense.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
Tax write-off.
Yeah. Oh God.
Exactly.
Whereas now it's just an expense.
Yeah, that's right.
So yes, patreon.com/E1. Tell a friend. We'd like to live, please, folks.
Please.
I want to live.
Right.
I don't just want to survive.
Please, I'm so hungry.
Living. We have to talk about Density 2 now.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly, Nimp. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was only fair, and I'm curious if this is what happened to you as well, Nimp, that Boston dipped his toe into the spacing world of Elite Dangerous. It was only fair that I take him up on his kind offer to carry me to get those last achievements in Destiny 2, because that's another 80 gig game, by the way, folks.
Yes. Yeah. Now smaller at 80 gigs.
Mine was not Destiny related.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't. But I was guilted into this because he played the untouchable game for him, which is Elite Dangerous.
And I liked it.
And he likes it.
Yeah.
That sounded a lot creepier when I said it than when you said it. And he likes it.
Oh, no. TVGP After Dark. Here we go.
Yup. So, I thought, well, I installed Destiny 2 kind of as a joke. Also not kind of as a joke, because I would like to get those final achievements.
Right.
So, Friday night rolls around, and T-Bomb is asleep watching YouTube or something. Rob is watching the Sharks game, so I'm sitting there by myself on boys now, like a lonely, lonely little boy. Almost like me as a teenager, sitting in my room while all the other boys are outside having fun.
Right.
And I opened up my games, and I started scrolling, and I made it past C. I made it to D, and then I saw the size of it, and I was like,
Ghost starts whispering, "Come join us in the stars."
Ghost, who has a completely different voice from the last time I heard him.
Oh, is that how long
it still throws me off?
Is that how long you've been playing? You haven't been playing?
Yeah. Dude, literally, I beat the game in 2 days, uninstalled it, and haven't played it since.
Yeah, if you haven't played much Destiny 2, ever since the middle of Destiny 1, that's Nolan North now.
Yep.
Yeah. Optimus Servo in chat says the ghost of Dinklage. Yes.
Yes. The ghost of Dinklage is alive and well in my heart.
Yes.
It's really strange to not hear him in my head is the problem.
I liked him as Ghost, but
he
was okay.
But they made a stupid mistake because they hired a voice actor that they knew they couldn't get back for DLC for the same character who you would talk to in DLC.
Literally everybody except for Lance Reddick, super Destiny fan. Lance Reddick is in every season and every piece of content because he just loves the game too much. It's really great.
Yeah. So this is great because the last time I teased Boston with this, it was like literally a picture of Destiny 2 installing, and that was like 2 months ago or something like that at this point.
I've been patient.
And so I just jumped in and I started playing it on Friday. And then, of course, halfway through the Sharks game, Rob jumps on and just immediately like, whoa.
Wait a minute.
Was like, what? Why are you playing Destiny? What is going on? Who are you? What have you done with the real moon?
I'm in the middle of a raid, and you sent me a screenshot that's just you standing somewhere on Earth in Destiny. I was like, excuse me? I told the whole raid group, I'm like, excuse me? What is happening?
Yep. It was literally the first mission as the Warlock.
Yeah.
It was one of those demilitarized zone things where you got to go do a thing and get a thingamajig to do a watching-mabob.
Usually Ghost needs to scan or hack something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, yes, I was collecting data for him to put in the thing to lower the shield.
I'll need 3 encryption keys. It's like, I bet you do.
That's the exact mission, correct.
There you go. It's always like an encryption key or like a hive rune, or it's all the same.
Yes. So I took a photo and I sent it to you. And I'm not gonna lie, I knew you were in the game because it says on my friends list you were playing the game.
Mm.
I think you were playing the PC version.
I was, yeah.
And I sent that image right after Rob joined in with me, and I was like, I'm going to take a photo of this and send it to Boston, and I want to see how long it takes him to respond. Right. And the fact that I didn't get a response within 3 minutes shows me how busy you must have been at the time.
Yeah. We were learning a new raid, so...
Yeah, so I was like, I bet he's doing the raid or something, and yep. Rob was like, oh, is that the dads all playing? I was like, no, Dad's Saturday night is Thursday, but I'm pretty sure they're probably doing something today for it instead.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I just get a whole bunch of what?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then a minute later, just finish the raid. Let me know if you need the third for your fire team. I was like,
yep.
Well, it's 12:15 and I've got to be awake in 5 hours, so I'm going to bed now. But
yeah,
soon.
But soon.
Because, and I looked this up just for you, Boston, because I knew you would like to know.
Yes.
I got 5 achievements left in the game. And you can find out how much of my precious, precious time you will have based on these 5 achievements.
Okay.
So,
what are they?
Achievement number 1, you will have 0 of my time because it's the one I just haven't logged back into the game to get.
Okay.
I have to talk to Zia.
Sure. He's there Friday to Tuesday. He's there right now on Nessus this week.
Yes.
In a tree. Watcher's Grave.
Do they still randomly move him?
Hold on.
He only has 3 locations right now. This week he is currently resided on the planet Nessus in the Watcher's Grave area. He's inside of a tree to the right-hand side and up above you after you zone him. Look for the other Guardians.
The first time that we found out that he was in a tree, it was the most messed up thing ever because no one ever thought to look up in the GD tree.
He moved. So Zur moved for a couple of seasons because there was like a ship there. He was on the ship. It crashed when Beyond Light launched, and it was like, okay, so he's not there. Hey, just put him back in the tree. It's great. All right, so that one. So 4 left.
Yes. So 4 left after that one. I'm a Titan for life. Which means I did not do anything as a hunter and anything as a warlock.
Okay.
So you know what the other 2 achievements for those 2 are?
Oh yeah, like finish the campaign as the
essentially warlock? Yes. It's get each hunter subclass and get each warlock subclass.
Oh, okay. That should take you like 2 minutes apiece. Because you log in, and I think you just like switch your subclasses, and I think that's it.
No, I have to unlock them. It's locked by default.
Oh, fair. Yep. Okay. Yep. Sorry, I keep forgetting there's the new light quest line now, but you'll get them pretty quick.
And my final 2 achievements: Belly of the Beast and the Prestige.
Okay, what is Belly of the Beast now?
Complete a Nightfall Strike on Master Difficulty, which I'm pretty sure used to be a raid.
That used to be completing Leviathan, yeah. That one's super easy.
And the Prestige, complete a Nightfall Strike on Grand Master Difficulty.
That's the hard one. I still have not done that one.
Here is my question to you.
Yes.
Am I going to need to, quote unquote, gear up for that Nightfall Strike on Grandmaster?
Yes. You will need to be, during this season, you will need to be light level 1325.
Okay, I'm 200 off.
Yes.
Well, 200 off with my...
Pretty sure I'm still light level 200.
Don't worry, now when you start, you're 1100. Yeah. Yeah.
And number 2, does your crew need a particular class for me to be able to help in any way? So are you short a Titan or Warlock? What's the issue?
So, funnily enough, the short answer is play whichever one you like. The long answer is we've somehow lucked into the Destiny group is 1 of each. The raid group is 2 of each. So, like, we have somehow managed to not have, like, 6 warlocks. Here we go. So the my recommendation to everybody is, if you're going to play a Destiny, play whichever class you really like. Like, spend a little bit of time with each one of them. They all have their pluses and minuses, but there's going to be one that you naturally gravitate to, and as soon as you feel that pull, just make that one your main.
I already know it's Titan. Titan for life.
Yeah.
I was talking about, I've been playing my Titan lately to sort of wrap up some older content that I'd never went through. The punching animation on the Titan is so satisfying. I just want to punch everything.
Mm-hmm. It has a real nice thud. Well.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah. It's really cool. I do love a good Titan melee build.
Yeah. So good ground pound is also it's
very
awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, I still love doing the like jumping up as high as you can and then doing that ultimate and then just landing on somebody from from space.
It's really good.
Like, there's something coming from the sun. Uh-oh.
Oh no. Yeah. Their stasis super is actually really good too, because you essentially just start shoulder checking people, like you're just sprinting and like running into people, freezing them and blowing them up. It's great.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yes. Now I want to know why you would. I made a special note here. Called Creepy Boston.
That's me.
Because you were doing some weird dark web stuff trying to find out what I've done on Destiny without my knowledge.
I was just looking at you in the Destiny API.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're being Creepy Boston is.
That's right. I mostly wanted to know your light level, and I wanted to see if you had redeemed any triumphs. So.
Considering the last time I played was before seasons existed, probably no.
Yeah, you had not. I will walk you through it.
Practice safe internet protection. Don't tell him what your gear setup is. Don't tell him your light level.
Hey, I can see it because I know his gamer tag.
Well, you screwed up.
As long as you don't know my email address and password, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I will help.
I don't have access to my phone for TFA.
So there is a pretty considerable amount of knowledge that you're going to need to do the Grandmaster Nightfall, and I will get you there over the coming weeks. This season ends May 11th. That would be...
Okay, so it's 2 months. That's enough time.
It's cutting it pretty close, but there's plenty of stuff we can do that will get you the pinnacle rewards that you really need. But if not, they're changing how leveling works in the next season. So if we don't meet it by the end of this season, it should be easier to get next season.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know what a pinnacle reward is, so sure.
I'll get you there. I will. There's a bunch of knowledge to kind of get you through. Like, do this stuff first, then do this stuff, then do this stuff to kind of get you to that 1325.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I've got left to say about Destiny, well, literally I wrote Density 2, by the way. I didn't write Destiny. I wrote Density 2. Because I must be dense if I'm continuing to play this game.
Hey, wait.
My other final note is, Dad, get your backpacks on. It's time to carry me.
I will carry you through so much content. You don't even know. We're going to be speed running campaigns. It's going to be nuts.
It's fine by me. I will probably revert to the Titan as my default because I don't like feeling squishy, and the others felt squishy.
Titan is going to be your least squishy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You let me know when you are available to play, and I will sign on.
Pretty much any night after 8 p.m. that you see me on Xbox, which is every night after 8 p.m. generally.
There you go. I will
8 p.m. my time, not your time.
Right.
Cross country, folks.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Time zones.
That is all I have been playing. Take us away, Nimb. Tell me about what Boston did to treat you bad this week.
Let's talk about how Boston screwed me this week. So last week, Boston decided, kind of, that we were going to have a show challenge.
I made a off-the-cuff joke, and it turned into an actual thing.
Yeah. So I spent all this week playing No Man's Sky.
I'm so sorry.
To get to the center of the universe on permadeath.
Yep.
Which actually was not terribly difficult.
Yeah. No, as soon as you're off that first planet, like as soon as you you start a run, it's fine.
That was primarily the issue. I died the first time I did it because the ship was just nowhere to be found. There wasn't anything that I could use for shelter, so I was just dead. Second time around, I happened to find shelter. It's like, cool, booked it there, let my shield recharge. Because in permadeath, your shield and your life support drain at double the rate than it does on normal.
And running and jetpacking really mess up your life support.
So once I got into the building, once I kind of had a place to go back to for cover real quick, I'm like, all right, the two things I need to find is sodium, oxygen.
Yep.
That's all I care about right now because that's what's going to keep me alive until I can find this ship and figure out, from there. So I go around, I find a bunch of stuff, managed to find enough to keep me going for a while. I'm like, all right, cool, go back into the base. I've been on this planet for it feels like half an hour. I'm like, cool, there's no storms or anything, should be good to go. It tells me where my ship is at. It's like 900 UI or whatever they count it.
That's pretty
all right. Yeah, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hoof it out to my ship. I get over the first mountain range, and all of a sudden it tells me incoming firestorm.
No.
I'm like, no, this is fine. I will just mine myself underground.
Right.
Wait a minute.
You don't.
I can't do that because I don't have the terraforming thing. And that clicks real fast to the point where I am turning around and running back up this mountain range to get back to the bunker so that way I don't die. And I barely made it. Like I was completely out of sodium and I was down to like the last little bar of environmental health hazard shield before I got into the thing and it started recharging. But
yeah,
that was too close of a call. And it was at that point that I realized that, okay, once getting off this planet, I should be fine, but I will have to remember that I can't do what I'm used to doing. And if anything kills me, it's going to be me thinking I can do something that I can't do right now. So I get to the ship, get that all fixed up, start looking for stuff, thruster fuel. That way I can get off the planet, get that going. I'm able to make antimatter now. So then I jump into space, do my first jump, get that out of the way. And then I pull up the anomaly. That way I can talk to Nada, I think the name is, of the character. That way they can tell me where the black holes are at. That worked for like 2 jumps before it glitched out and wouldn't tell me where the black holes were anymore.
Great.
So then I had to just kind of keep traveling to the center of the galaxy without knowing where the black holes were at.
Slow and steady.
Uh-huh. So
that's why I ended up doing the Atlas pass, to be honest, just so I could avoid all of the talking to people and just do black hole jump, black hole jump, black hole jump.
Well, and I didn't want to do the Atlas stuff because I remember there being a lot of times it would send you to the extreme planets and you had to be out there and do stuff. And I'm like, no, man, that's going to get me killed. The safe and sure route is just to go to the center of the galaxy and just be done with it.
Oh, so, we're going to Elite Dangerous this, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why I hate Boston, because 16 hours later...
Not nearly as long as I was expecting it was going to take.
No, but it's still... My God, was that boring.
Yeah. I have made my 3rd jump in my permadeath playthrough. I had a really great planet that I started on, like a handful of runs after that. I got to the ship, and it's like, oh yeah, you get in the ship, and it's like, oh, all this stuff is broken. Go scan this thing to let you know where all the parts are. That thing was inside of a mountain. And I was like, cool. I had that same moment as you, where it's like, oh, I'll just tunnel into the... No, okay, I'm going to die here. But it's incredible. Like the first time you do your first jump and you go into the space station and you're like, I'm going to buy all the oxygen, all the sodium, all the ferrite dust. I'm going to buy all these plates.
Exactly what I did too.
Just like now
anything that I didn't need for survival, jumping, or fixing something got sold, so that way I can buy the things for survival, jumping, or fixing stuff.
And like my next stop is the anomaly. I'm buying the more efficient launch thrusters. As soon as I get a little bit more nanites, I'm buying the automatically recharging one. Now I'm going to do the hyperdrive. The hyperdrives to buy, and then after that, I will slowly but surely head my way to the center.
Well, and the other screw job is that in normal mode, through the patches, they've updated everything so that way your normal slots, you can hold 9,999 of anything in your normal ones.
Yep.
In permadeath mode, you can only hold 250, which was the original default. I'm like,
it's
oh my god,
rough.
you have to be kidding me.
It's real rough.
So not only are you constantly running out of shields and life, you only have so much stuff that you can carry on you to keep refilling that stuff.
Yep.
It's just it was a vicious cycle.
It's like a really interesting playthrough so far. I just need to find the time to just keep making progress, because now that I'm off that last planet, just like you, as long as I don't do anything monumentally stupid, it's not that bad. I've gotten over the hump. It's just like I need to find enough time to kind of sit down and jump. All right, save, and then I'll be done for a while.
It's gonna be boring. I did upload my save to the cloud in case something stupid did happen.
Oh, for sure.
I was gonna lose my S if the game glitched and I died because of it.
You died at the center of the galaxy, and it's like, sorry, man.
Which that was the other weird thing too. I get to a system that's like 3,000 light years outside of the center, and I couldn't at first figure out how you're supposed to get to the center of the galaxy. Because when you see the line, like if you do your map to have it point you to the center of the galaxy, you get the line still, but there's nothing there for you to jump to. And if you hold the right stick like you normally would to jump to a system, the circle doesn't show up to fill so that you can select it. It takes a couple of seconds. It's like 5-10 seconds before that. Yeah, and then it starts to fill. So I'm sitting here messing with the map, and it's like, well, how the hell do I get to the center of the galaxy? I'm like, right here.
Let me go somewhere.
And that's when I figured that out. So
this is permadeath. Don't mess with me.
Exactly. But I've got it set up now. I told my son, it's like, yeah, if you want to do it, all you have to do is just get off the first planet, and then
you got to do the hard work.
Yeah, and then you can just co-op into my game, and then you can do the jump. So
and you got the last two trophies at the same time, right?
Yeah, the permadeath version, and then doing it in survival mode. Nice. They give you both. So that gave me 100% of the call it.
Those are the last two trophies.
Pathfinder update trophy list. I'm 100% in that now. Still 60% in the main game, but
these are the last two trophies I need, and then I'll be done with No Man's Sky.
I was surprised at how low the percentages are for these two trophies, though. Like for the permadeath one, it's 0.1%, and for the survival mode, it's 0.3%.
Yeah,
it's like it's not hard. It just kind of sucks.
It just sounds scary. The permadeath one, like it sounds like a terrible thing.
It's time consuming.
You just gotta treat it like a roguelike. All right, I died, but now I know what I'm getting. All right. Yeah, I just gotta get a good run.
Begins now.
Right.
So anyway, after I managed to get through all of that crap this week, I was winding down with Genshin Impact all week because they have a new event going on. What are they calling it on this one? The Windbloom Festival for Mondstadt. My son and I are... Yeah. Well, no, that's something that started happening before this. The Hangouts. Yeah. The Hangouts is something separate that just is coinciding with this. But the festival is like with the Lantern Festival in Liu, where it's a whole bunch of different things that are happening in Mondstadt, and you can go do all these other events and stuff. Like there's a shooting balloons one. There's you fall from the sky and catch all these certain things to score points. They've got one that you listen to the music and you're doing like a QTE the entire time, the QuickTime events.
Interesting.
So with all the face buttons and all that, and you can do all of this in co-op as well. So my son and I were doing a bunch of that. They've got there's a ton of mini games going on right now, and they're all done pretty well. They did not bring back the tower defense game.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe the next event, because that was really fun. But what they have now is pretty decent. They put a lot of effort into it, so it's not just some thrown together crap.
Right.
So, that's been a lot of fun. My son and I have been doing a ton of that. New stuff is actually going to be unlocking tomorrow sometime.
Oh,
so
nice.
Him and I are going to get back into that and start messing around with it. But yeah, we're having a ton of fun with it.
Nice.
Next thing after that, Persona 5 Strikers. I did not do a whole lot with this. I am in the second jail. I think I'm at the point where I'm getting ready to tell the person that I'm going to steal from them to fight the final boss in that dungeon.
Oh, sure. I haven't started the second jail yet.
It doesn't feel as long as the first one.
Oh, thank God.
It's still
a Persona game. Like,
yeah, it's still Persona long, but I don't feel it's as long as the first one. It's either less tedious or it is actually shorter.
Right.
And you have a new area to explore. Outside of the jail. So
yeah, I'm taking the camper to the next area now. We're like at a rest stop.
That camper though is pretty damn sweet.
Yeah, that camper's. I would ride in that camper. That thing looks cool.
Yeah, that looks awesome. I would love to own a camper that looked like that.
When you guys say camper, you're talking about a vehicle?
Yeah, like it's like
not
a small
a person with a tent.
Right.
Yeah, it's RV. Motorhome.
Yeah, like a mini RV.
Yeah.
RV doesn't exist anywhere except for the US.
I know, it sucks. Like a larger truck.
Yeah,
with a table in it.
Think of like the old Chevy S10s, and then instead of a actual truck bed, it's just a little house on the back of it.
Yeah.
Chevys don't sell anywhere except for in the US, dude.
That's true.
What do you guys have for trucks over there?
I know what a camper van is.
Okay.
Except our camper vans look like the Scooby-Doo like truck wagon bus thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much that.
Things fold out the top and the sides.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. You got it. Yep.
Okay. So it's a camper van.
It is your own mystery spot.
But it's it's very much like a camper van from like the 70s. It's like, oh, my friend has this thing he doesn't want anymore. It's like, yeah, man, I sort of see why.
The outside it looks like hot garbage, but the inside it's all modeled like a 50s diner. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks pretty sweet.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, it's cool.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I'd probably do the second boss this week sometime if I have time.
Yeah.
Next game that I played last night was Valheim. We managed to beat the bone mass boss in the swamps. Looks a lot like Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas.
I like that.
It was pretty awesome and terrifying at the same time.
Right.
We beat the next boss after that, Motor, in the mountains, which is an ice dragon. And that thing gives you an awesome ice dragon head mount.
Ooh,
that
nice.
I now have sitting over my bed in the game, which is pretty awesome. And now we are in A-Plains with the last boss. Don't know who the last boss is. Don't know what we need to do to unlock him, but we found where we can spawn him at. So we landed there, and we were prepared for the plains, and everything went fine. Didn't look like it was initially going to go that way.
Right.
Because we get on there and we know all about goblins and death skeetos and all this dumb crap. But we were looking for a dilapidated building or village or something for us to build off of that was close to the summoning point for the boss. That way we could get beds and stuff. And if we died fighting the boss, we'd just spawn there instead of back somewhere else. This is what we've done for the last two bosses now, which has made it a lot easier. What we explored for like half an hour, didn't find anything, and I happened to go just a little bit south past this hill where our ship originally landed, and I'm like, hey, there looks like there's a village over here. Slowly, stealthily walk towards it, and it's like this entire goblin encampment.
Oh boy.
With like these two massive like ogre-looking goblins of different colors, so I'm assuming that was not a good thing. So I tell everybody in chat, hey, this is what I found. Everyone shows up, and there's only like 4 of us all together. And one of them was telling me, it's like, oh yeah, the red one's a brute, the green one's a shaman. The shaman will heal, the brute will kill us all.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good to know.
Yeah. Someone in our group wasn't paying attention and was trying to draw said brute out. The brute comes at us, and what you don't see at first is that the goblins are short enough that the tall grass, you don't see them really if you're not paying attention. So everyone's focused on the brute, and we'll say they're on the west side of the camp. I'm still on the south end of the camp, and I see like all of these little goblin heads like running towards
just bopping
them.
along.
Yeah. And so I tell them, hey, watch out for these goblins on the south side. And I hear one person say, what? And then they are surrounded and killed by these goblins. Then the brute comes in and kills the other 2. And I'm just stealthed out to the south of the village, watching this all on a hill, and I'm like, huh, that could have gone better.
Yeah.
So
reminds me of my WoW days.
Yeah. So I draw everything that was over there towards me so that everyone can run in and grab their stuff, and then we all regroup. And then we managed to draw out all of the little goblins first, which there was about 40 or 50 of these things.
Jeez.
And like this 2-hut little village, like they just kept coming.
Man.
That was kind of scary, but we managed to kill all of them. Then the brute comes out, and we just sit there and snipe him with arrows, kill him. Then the shaman comes out, do the same thing, kill him. And then we walk into the village, and we're like, okay, there should only be a couple of goblins. No, like 20 more goblins come out. So we're fighting all these things, kill all of them, and we finally take over this village and claim it as our own.
Nice.
Yeah, so now every night we get attacked by goblins. And that is the game so far. So right now, nice. I don't know where we're hunting for black metal right now, which is the next material that we need to be able to. What?
May I recommend looking on a little place called Pandora, Spotify, and YouTube? There's some really good black metal out there.
There you go. Hey-o.
You're a bad person. Anyway. I don't know where it's at, like where we look for it right now. And I don't know if anybody else does right now. We were just trying to get the foothold to start.
Right.
We brought a ship over so we can load all that crap onto the ship, bring it back to our main area. That way we can start making everything that we need for it. But once we figure out where it's at, how to mine it, and how to get it back, we should start making our new equipment and stuff. And then we should be able to figure out what we need to do to take on this boss. And I believe right now, with where the game's at, this is the last boss in the game. Which brings me to the next thing that I discovered was that I jokingly had said to everyone that we should build an outpost in the Mistlands right now while there is nothing in the Mistlands.
Sure.
We managed to do that, and somehow we did it up in the trees.
Okay.
And I don't know. I wasn't there when they started it, but I walked through a portal just to see where it would take me, and I was up in the trees, and we have like this whole Ewok village up in the trees now.
That's great.
And I'm like, this is really awesome, but I'm assuming there's going to be spiders all over the place, and this is probably going to screw us either way, so we should probably put up some walls and roofs. That way we don't get instantly attacked the moment we walk through that portal. So I think we're prepared for whenever they release the crap for that. So that'll be interesting to see how well that does. But I have no clue. Like, we're hundreds of feet up in the air, and I have no clue how they managed to get up there to be able to put down flooring to put a portal on it. So we have this nice little village going. So yeah, game's going swimmingly. After that, I only played like a little bit of Remnant, not a whole lot from Ash. I'm in the subway area now. Haven't really done a whole lot, but this has reinvigorated my soul's thing, I guess. My liking of the genre off and on.
Your soul's brainworms.
Yeah, so I started playing Bloodborne again.
Oh no.
All I have to do is the challenge dungeons. That's it. I get the last 3 trophies, and I'm done. So I finished. What was it? The center chalice? Yeah, the center chalice. I've completed all of that.
Oh, okay.
I have all the materials. Created the lower chalice. Did all of it except for the last level of it, which includes the last boss. So once I beat that, I'll be moving on to the next one. The difficulty spike between central and lower is kind of ridiculous, where I went from feeling pretty okay to being in central to I'm not exactly sure I'm supposed to be in lower, which doesn't make me feel great for the next area that I'm supposed to be going to.
Oh, no.
And they're only supposed to get harder because I know one of them you're fighting pretty much all spiders and it's constant poison all the time.
Oh God.
And one of the other chalices is that your health is permanently dropped down to 50%.
Oh no.
So you're at half health every time you're in that dungeon.
Oh, woof. Okay.
But apparently, once you beat those 2, the last couple are the easy ones that have the last bosses in it that you to fight. So whatever.
Right.
Per Souls fans, nobody can count. So there are either 5 chalices altogether, or there's 10 chalices altogether. Because nobody in the Souls community, again, can agree on anything.
Right. That's
but
about
so
right.
I'm slowly working my way through that, which then made me want to play Dark Souls a little bit again. So I popped that back in, and now I have the, what sword am I running around with? The Zweihander? The long Zweihander. I have that up to +5 now.
That's my European showing, by the way.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's all I haven't even fought the gargoyles yet. I've just been busy grinding out, what is it? The shards that I need to upgrade the sword. I think I can upgrade it one more time before I have to start finding better equipment and materials and stuff. But like I'm running around with pants and a sword and a shield, and the shield is only getting used sometimes. I'm mostly two-handing the sword, so I'm mostly there for mobility, and it's been working out. So I might take on the gargoyles this week. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love grinding in these games. I don't like fighting in them so much.
Right.
But that's everything I did this week.
All right. I only have 2 short games here. First one, Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 6 started. They did a different thing this time that I really like. The last couple of seasons have all had these big live event things where this Saturday at noon, you and hundreds of thousands of other people will see this cool thing. They didn't do that this time, and instead they had a playable solo mission where you're helping Jonesy, who's like essentially the Fortnite main character now. You're helping him try to stop the thing that was happening the whole season 5, and meeting a whole bunch of new characters and kind of playing through all this stuff, and you get to experience firsthand kind of how it all goes wrong. That was a really cool event. It takes maybe 5 minutes, but I like that you didn't have to be in the game for X period of time at the certain day, or you didn't get to see it. So I like that better. And now, if you didn't do it to like start the mission or start the season, you can just do it whenever you want. Anyway, you can just kind of pick it from the main menu and say like, yeah, I want to play this mission again or for the first time. So I'm
going to say something that I don't understand.
Sure.
What it means. Peely gets blown up.
so there's always, at least in chapter 2, there's always this like fully rendered cutscene to introduce the season, and it always has this. It kind of introduces a lot of the skins that come from the season pass, but it always has like fan favorite characters that are in there. So a lot of what you're seeing before you got to the playable part was this like 2 or 3 minute long cutscene that had you running away from like evil possessed versions of all these fan favorite characters. And one of them was, I don't remember who it was, but somebody shoots Peely,
Ryu does a Hadouken, and
yeah, he does, and blows up Peely, and like the inside part of the banana like splats onto Jonesy as he's running past. Yeah. So some people, monsters, are happy that Peely got blown up again. Peely hasn't hurt anybody. Leave Peely alone.
That's where I'm coming from, where I saw something on Twitter, I think it was, where it was just like a short clip of Ryu charging up his Hadouken. You see this banana, and then next thing you know, this character gets covered in a banana.
Yeah,
and people were losing their minds.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I like Peely. So that was super cool. I like that they're trying something different. You got like this real big spectacle thing. We got to witness this event unfolding on the giant map, with just you and Jonesy by yourself, and you're kind of teleporting from different places, and it was really, really cool. I prefer this over the other stuff, because not everybody is going to be available to do all this stuff. So, new season pass seems cool. Lara Croft is the real high point here. The unlockable skin at the beginning is reboot Lara Croft. It also has her classic outfit to unlock, and one of the challenges is to get her polygonal face from the PS1. So that's that's pretty great.
That's cool.
They introduced 2 new things this time. Bows are in the game for this season, which work actually fairly well. They work pretty nicely. And weapon crafting. So essentially, you can get materials from across the map, different materials than the standard ones that you use to build stuff with. And you can take the low-level equipment that you find out in the world and kind of graft these pieces onto it to upgrade the weapons, and then they're kind of different upgrade paths. Like, do you want to have the primal ones, or do you want to have these kind of more mechanical-based ones? So far, it seems pretty fun that you can upgrade these things in the field as opposed to having to find a character or a station to upgrade them in. And the new map is great, as opposed to all of this sand from last season, which kind of wasn't that great. All of it now is this kind of green and yellow field, which looks pretty great. And there's a new thing in the center of the map. So far, it seems great. Not really revolutionary, but I don't think Fortnite needs to do anything revolutionary right now. It's just a lot of like, Season 5 was about the greatest bounty hunters throughout history, and Season 6 seems to be, whoops, we broke time. Sorry. So we'll see what that has throughout this season. And my last game, I played a little bit more Loop Hero. I got a really good run, and I finally beat the 3rd boss. This time with a rogue again, surprisingly.
Cool.
Having real good luck with the rogue. I have, so spoilers, I guess, for people that are playing Loop Hero and kind of care about it. I have unlocked the 4th area. God. It's so hard. The loop is even longer now, which is a nightmare. And when you look at the bar for when you fill it up, the boss spawns, there are a couple little pips in there. I got to the first pip, and the lich spawned.
I was gonna say, is this the boss rush thing?
Yeah, but the lich spawns really early, essentially at 25% through that bar. So you're fighting the lich pretty unprepared, and he stomped me. Like, just I had like all gray gear. I have no health, I have no attack, anything. So probably gonna spend some time this week finishing building the stuff in the camp. I just built the river today because I had a little bit of time to play this morning. So I unlocked the river card. So I think I have all the cards. If not, I have like one more left to go. So I think a lot of what I need to do now is like beat the 2nd and 3rd boss, kind of get their unlockables for beating them multiple times, continue to upgrade my my village, and try and get a little bit more prepared before I try that again. I'm sort of assuming the 4th one is the the last one, since it is a boss rush. But if it's going to get harder than this, that's a problem. Because it is plenty hard already. What's up?
You can do it.
Probably. I mean, I'm stubborn, and roguelikes are great for that. So, like I could just... Yeah. But yeah, Loop Hero, I mean, everybody is playing it. You have probably seen a million people streaming it, so I'm not sure how much more I need to tell you about Loop Hero. It's just really good, and I highly recommend. It's very much like Hades. It's like, if you think you don't like any of the sort of mishmash of genres in Loop Hero, I think the implementation and sort of the combination of all of them might let you enjoy it, even if you haven't enjoyed deck builders or roguelikes or idle games or RPGs or something like that. Like, there's enough of all of this stuff that I think it still might be good, even if you don't like any of the individual genres. But that's all I played this week. So let's take a break.
Yep.
It's a bad week for time this week. Yum, 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 yum.
It's already hot as hell in here, too.
Yeah, it's
like it got warm outside today apparently, and I can feel it in here.
Yeah, it's 64 here right now.
I don't even know what we're at.
All right, let me pull up news stories here. Yeah, sort of blow through the rest of this because it's already 4:30. So I know it's getting late for you guys.
Yeah.
Apparently it got up to 70 today.
Dang.
I know, right?
It's almost summer.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like we had that good transition where it was like, it's like the last couple of years, it felt like, oh, it was just -20 yesterday, and now it's fucking 70.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys ready to finish this thing up?
Yep.
Close out my Arrowverse spreadsheet here. Okay. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of March 22nd, 2021. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 comes out on the PC. These games are great. I can't say anything negative about them. They're great. Tales from the Borderlands comes out on Switch. I hope this runs well on here. If it does, then it's Tales from Borderlands is really good. Even if you don't like Borderlands, it's really good, especially if you like it.
Yeah. Like, find out if you haven't played it and you don't have any other way to play it, find out how it runs on the Switch, and if it runs okay, pick it up.
Yep.
Because it's genuinely a great game.
Yeah, it's really good. Octopath Traveler releases for the Xbox.
A surprising twist.
Yeah, coming to Game Pass. Probably one of 2021's most surprising releases. I am really excited to check this out because if they have upgraded this to 4K, it's going to look really good. And if you haven't played Octopath Traveler, it was not my favorite on the Switch. I will be giving it another shot. It's pretty good. It's a cool idea.
It does get extremely difficult pretty early. So.
Yeah. So
is it below 10 gigs?
It
might
don't know. It might be. Yeah. It's
well, it should be if it came out on the Switch.
Yeah, well, and it doesn't have a ton of like unique textures. It's doesn't have a lot of towns and stuff, so it might be. Yeah. Monster Hunter Rise comes out on the Switch. I keep confusing this with Monster Hunter Stories. That's the one I want to play. This one also looks really good, but Stories is incredibly my jam. And I never played the first one, fortunately. Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, comes out on PC and Xbox One. Believe that's Game Pass day and date as well. So if you want to sort of finish up that whole saga, yeah, that game's good. I started and didn't finish that on PS4, I think. I was enjoying that.
I know I'm getting old when I look at these games and it's like, I don't know what 3 of these last 4 are.
Yeah, well,
2 of the last 4.
Balan Wonderworld comes out PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Switch. This is the brand new game from the team that made Nights into Dreams, Yuji Naka. How do I put this? It looks really bad.
It's garbage.
It is shocking to me. So Square Enix is putting this out. It's one of those games where I don't understand. It looks unfinished. Like it's very weird. Like I think there's a demo out. There's plenty of coverage out. It just looks really weird. It is out of time. It seems like the games that people thought came out on Dreamcast, where it's like, oh, it's this like janky, broken, terrible looking thing. But no, it's coming out.
Oh, it's the one with the weird top hat. Okay.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I never even liked Nights.
I have never liked
garbage.
Nights. Yeah, it never clicked with me. I know people love it, but It wasn't for me.
I'm pretty sure people love it because it was on the Dreamcast, and that's why.
That was a Saturn game.
Either or, it was on a second platform. And
that's a crazier fan base is the Saturn ones, where it's like, we were overlooked by the original PlayStation.
You talk about your Street Fighter 2 Turbo all you want. We've got Street Fighter the movie, the game.
That's right. For me, it was Tuesday. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, comes out on PC. It Takes Two comes out PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. This is that co-op game that I think we saw at not E3 in 2020.
That had the super long trailer.
Yeah, and a lot of people are really, really excited for this, and I don't fault them. Like, please be excited about video games, but it seems like one of those releases where it's like, maybe I'm not understanding this like groundswell of support for this game, but I don't know. It's a co-op game. Like, if it's on Game Pass, I'll maybe my wife and I'll play it, but like, odd, strange.
It's an action platformer, so playing it with my partner is straight out the door.
Oh, bummer. There you go. And last but not least, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 Plus 2 comes out on the PS5 and Series X.
If you have the Ultimate Edition, it's a free upgrade to the next-gen versions. If you do not, I think it's a $10 upgrade.
Yep, it sure is. That sucks.
Oh, what's that, Activision? Screwing over your customers as well as your employees? Cool.
Yeah. It's just... What a miserable story this week. We're gonna lay off a bunch of people, and then Bobby Kotick, who already gets a $30 million a year salary, is getting a $200 million bonus for not increasing profits, especially not personally. So go kick rocks and donate all of that money to something.
Wasn't it Kaz Hirai who took a pay cut and the CEO of Nintendo did it too? Like, people are going to lose their jobs. We're CEOs. We'll just take a pay cut. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's to save the jobs. Weird. It's almost like that's what you should do as a CEO and as a decent human being.
Yeah.
Strange.
Capitalism.
Thanks, America. Speaking of Sony announces their PS5 VR controllers, which thankfully are not the Move controllers again. Because
no, that's a shame. They should be.
Yeah, they were super accurate. They were like brand new technology for the PS4. They were nothing wrong. Why would they dump them? So they're sort of going for the that kind of.
They're also extremely light too.
Hey, there it is. Oh, look at that little guy
right here. I got VR.
Yeah. They're kind of going for that thing you see in some VR controllers where it's like the hand cage. You know, you put your hand in a thing like a gauntlet. And then it does finger tracking or individual finger tracking and detection. Has the DualSense haptics in the controllers. Each controller has an analog stick and 2 buttons, along with like a grip button. So they're kind of plus one more button this time.
It's very much the Quest controller. Like if you've seen those Quest controllers, it's basically those. Identical.
Which I hear are pretty good. So it makes sense that you kind of want to up the controller game. Sony also mentions the controllers will, quote, be tracked by the VR headset, unquote.
The answer to your question you have next is yes.
Yeah, so that sort of seems like it's suggesting that maybe this whole setup won't require a camera, which would be great.
I'm pretty sure they've confirmed it's inside-out tracking now.
That would be great. Yeah. Because I know they made another camera for PS5, but like no one wants to buy that on top of hundreds of dollars of VR equipment.
The only people who want to buy the camera are the people who want to set it up on the mount and point it at that thing and play the card game.
I mean, I wish
was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I wish that would have taken off because that seemed like such a cool thing. I don't remember what that thing was called. I was like watching that. And it was
Eye of Judgment or something like that.
Yeah, yes, Eye of Judgment.
Exactly what it's called.
I always kept seeing that, and it's like, man, this thing works. Like you made this cool thing, and everyone was like, so the dragon comes off the card and like attacks the other card, and I was like, yeah. That's like, sick as hell, man.
It's just like Star Wars chess. Come on.
Yeah,
when we were playing Star Wars chess on our DOS boxes, like in high school, we would have killed for this.
Yeah, man. Yeah. The other news story we have this week is that 2K signs Tiger Woods and buys HB Studios. HB Studios has previously made the golf club games. Last year they made 2K PGA Tour 20. I remember, yeah, PGA Tour 2K. And now it's going to be Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2K21. So I'm a little surprised that on this announcement, everybody's like, hell yeah, Tiger's back. Let's do it. And it's like, okay, I'm not sure that's what I was expecting. Also, the golf club games were really good. So you could have just played those without Tiger in it, because that's not the part that matters.
I'll be honest, Tiger isn't exactly great right now.
For like the last 15 years, yeah. Like it's been a long time since he's been really great. But yeah, it's I understand from 2K's standpoint, like, the idea of putting out a Tiger Woods game is an incredible marketing thing, because EA's Tiger Woods games were consistently rather good to really good. So I think if you want the John Q Street Fighter fan to pick up another golf game, it's going to have Tiger on it, which is great, because people should play more golf games. Because I'd like more golf games to come out. Yeah.
Yeah, you and 3 people.
I know, that's the problem. It's like, maybe now with Tiger on the cover, it'll be 5 people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Let's move on to questions this week. Angel Eye sends us our question of the week. With bots causing havoc with online purchases of new consoles and graphics cards, why do you think traditional brick and mortar refuse to leverage their advantage with a wait list for people willing to put money down and provide physical proof of not being a bot? Why can't I walk into a store, put money down, and provide an ID to be on list for a restock? This seems like a simple fix for this problem.
COVID.
Well, that and things are selling just fine right now, so why mess with it?
Yeah. They don't.
It may not be working for you, but it's working for them.
But Best Buy is still selling Founders Editions of the 3000 cards.
Let me just rewind a little bit so I can say capitalism.
That's right.
Again.
The whole frustrating part about this thing is they're just from a buyer standpoint, it's a miserable experience, because you're either entering a lottery for the pleasure of purchasing a card through Newegg, or you're awake from a Twitch stream that's blaring a siren at 2 a.m. because that's what you've been watching for 48 hours to try and get a new PS5. It's just such a miserable experience that it seems like nobody wins except for the sellers and the scalpers. And with the shortages on pretty much everything right now, that's going to be a problem that exists for a while. There has to be a bet. I complain to my wife. I was going to say I talked to my wife about this. I complain to my wife about this a lot, where it's like, you can't tell me that this consumer juggernaut in Amazon is just yeah, man, we just can't stop scalpers. I don't even know what to do. I mean, number one, they don't care, but it's just so frustrating to see all these companies be they're selling out. Someone's buying them. It's
it's the miners who are using them to do NFTs, which is a whole different topic to not go into this one.
I hate NFTs so this is Jokerifying me is this stupid NFT stuff. Like, I'm going to die from anger. Anyways.
Like, and at the end of the day, is like, don't get me wrong, I love our listeners, and you know, and I love Nimp, and I like Boston.
That's fair. After this week, that's fair. I've stepped down a couple rungs.
But they have their money. They don't care how they get it. They
100%.
Yeah, what happens. I mean, that American word for someone who graduated from the show. I can't remember the word.
Alumnus.
Thank you. Alumnus of the show, Hannah on Twitter was pointing out that again, despite being told to shut down, GameStop is opening its doors and forcing its employees to come into work and to refuse to comply with the orders of police to shut the doors.
The 1 year anniversary of that, which is the 1 year anniversary of me not shopping at GameStop.
Mm-hmm. So they literally couldn't care less.
Yep. Capitalism. Yeah, it's the frustrating part is that none of these companies seem to care because they're getting their money. And if it's from bot number 35 2000, they don't care because they got their $600, $500, whatever for a brand new video card.
Well, and like that's the other thing too. It's like, so not only do companies not care because they're getting their money, but people apparently want this crap so bad that they're willing to go to the second seller market and spend outrageous money on it.
Like $1,500 for a PS5. It's just like, no. Yeah.
So that's why these bots continue to happen, because they will continue to buy out these things because people are dumb enough to continue to go to the second seller market.
There's a market for amounts.
It's follow the money.
I had to buy an entirely brand new computer just so I could get a new video card.
I was curious if you were going to bring this one up, to be honest.
And like when I was doing the
like for the record, folks, Boston built pre-made. So
yeah. Before this, I like built my own, and I was going to build my own for this one, where it's like, all right, I can price out all these parts. CPUs are a little hard to find. RAM is very hard to find, and we know about video cards. And I like priced out all these parts, and I was like, all right, that's fair. Like, this is a good machine for a good price. You add processor and it gets bad. You add RAM and it gets really bad. Yeah. And then you can't find a video card. So I was like, I either wait for months and months and months to make the podcast not sound bad, or I spend this much money and wait for like 6 or 7 weeks for them to build it and ship it, and then I can get a brand new computer surrounding this brand new video card. So it's just, the whole thing sucks, and it would probably be a bad enough situation if it wasn't for COVID and it wasn't for chip and capacitor shortages, but it's this perfect storm of just nobody seeming to be able to make this stuff fast enough to beat the demand for even a little bit. Because that's the problem. The demand is so much higher than the supply, and that won't flip for a while.
Yep. Yeah, and a lot of that is probably coming down to graphics cards, because they went on the market first, so they're sucking up all the resources first and foremost.
Yep.
And we all know where the graphics cards are going. So much so that NVIDIA have announced a new line of graphics cards that don't have a display out port. Because they're designed for one purpose only.
Already hacked that model with the out, so
the 3060
anti-hashing.
The 3060 non-TI has already gotten bypassed. It's like, cool, thanks.
We didn't see that coming.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, and I mean, look, when the Bitcoin market comes tumbling to its knees, because all capitalism will eventually, I just feel like Bitcoin is more vulnerable to that, because it's literally imaginary ones and zeros.
It's a thinly veiled money laundering scheme, yes.
Yes. And when that comes tumbling down, well, you're going to be able to build a house from the 380s or the 3080s that you can get for cheap.
Yeah.
Right. You guys got $50? I got like 10 3080s here.
Like, seeing a GIF of people opening a storage container, which is just running a server farm inside, essentially, but it's just graphics cards, and it's like what? What?
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I watch Formula One. Formula One is not exactly great for the environment, but holy God, what Bitcoin and the blockchain is doing to the environment is staggering.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where we were going with this, but NFTs can go to hell. It all sucks. Like the whole situation just sucks. I don't want to end episode 700 on a down note, but like the whole thing sucks. And like we saw a little bit of a supply constraint issue with the Switch this past year, especially as COVID and lockdowns continued to progress. And I think the real bummer is like there's so many people that just want these new consoles to sit in their house and just play some video games as we can't leave our house. So like the idea that especially scalpers and all these people are just scooping these up for a quick payday just sucks. It all sucks.
Yeah. Moon had a very appropriate tweet on the pre-show that we can't say here. So
yeah, listen
to the pre-show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all of our questions this week. And that's our episode. You can visit us at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page, including the Discord server if you'd like to come talk to us about Valheim or Game Club or roguelikes or Destiny 2 or Division 2 or Marvel Puzzle Quest. The Marvel Puzzle Quest channel is still hopping. Apparently they put out some graphical update this week that people don't like, but I'm not downloading that evil again.
No, I cannot.
I'm free. I'm clean.
I do not want that heroin in my veins anymore. Exactly. Thank you very much.
Patreon.com/E1M1, the ones are numbers. We're just talking about the Outcast, the exclusive uncensored Outcast. Early access to We Rogue Like It and Critical Misses and Dynamic Soundtrack, along with go vote on the poll too. That'll probably be open for a couple more days here. You can tell us what we need to watch for Critical Misses Season 7, now that we're sort of getting past the halfway point in Season 6, that we're recording, not that we're releasing. But if you want to listen to that early, patreon.com/E1M1. And we talked about the Game Club recap episode that's out now in the feed. And that should be it. So we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye. Guarantee you forgot something.
100%. As always. Rate us 5 stars. No less. I don't want to see 4 stars or 1 star. How could you?
Watch our other videos on how to play a guitar.
That's right. Hit that bell for notifications.
Yeah,
all right.
Look on the bright side. If we do get 1 star, I know 4 guys who'll definitely give us a listen.
It's pretty good. Nymph, what are your titles?
I have It Still Doesn't Work. I got 2 of these that I'm going to say, knowing that they're going to get vetoed.
Fair enough.
It's Big and It's Full.
Yep.
Everyone Hates Boston.
Yep.
The Ghost of Dinklage. Creepy Boston. And Density 2.
Density. Nope, wrote it wrong. Density.
Did you actually write
2?
Destiny?
I did. Yeah. Moon, what do you have?
Who me? Question mark. Everybody Hates Boston. Get your backpacks on. You're a bad person. And My European is Showing.
I have Is It Confession Time? It's Big and It's Full. Everybody Hates Boston. The Ghost of Dinklage and Density 2. I feel like all 3 of us had one attacking, slanderous title, so it can probably only be that.
I do also have It's Big, It's Full. I just didn't feel the need to say it.
So it sounds like the title is Everybody Hates Boston.
Mm-hmm. Now, hold on. Let me see.
I'll circle it. These lies. Boy, my voice is destroyed this week. Goodness. Take a little sip here while you guys are thinking about how much you love me.
I got one. I just want to make the name correct. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
That's concerning.
In America, how do you say?
Yeah, right. All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 700 from March 22nd, 2021. Everybody Hates Boston?
Starring Tilda Swinton as Boston.
All the slander heard in this podcast is justifiable.
Tilda Swinton. You know, if anyone would want to cast me in a movie, you want to cast me as Tilda Swinton, that's an honor. She's cool.
Tilda Swinton can be anything. Anything.
Anything she wants to be. She's great. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll see you next